Welcome to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NTV Houston. Thank you so much for joining us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. That's right. So much has been happening. 2020, this wild roller coaster of a ride, is finally coming down to winter and December, and we know we're finally ready to taper it off for 2021. But before we do, we got a lot of stuff to cover in life, and of course, one of them is me getting married. That's right. It's going down. I'm very, very humbled and blessed for this opportunity to share my personal pictures, and no one can do anything about it. I'm joking. But I'm sure you guys are probably tired of me and my fiance or legal wife's pictures, but this is my life. This is how life is, and this is how I like to keep it. Very personable and personal for all you fine folks. I'm an open book, so that's why I'm very open about my book of life. And tonight's very special guest, I don't want to say just very, I want to say very, 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 very special guest. That's 6 varies for episode 6, is a nationally award-winning photographer and has done work international as well, all over the world, excuse me. And he's also my photographer for the wedding coming up. And of course, that if you're watching this, when you're watching this, it's probably already passed. Ladies and gentlemen, the Z-Man of Houston, Texas, Zia Ahmed, will be in the studios in just a bit, so sit tight. It's going to be a great time. We'll talk about photography and videography and all the fun things that go into it, and his aspirations on how and why he went this direction from his original route of life. We all go different directions. It's very, very true. In fact, the first camera I ever purchased or received, was when I was about 15 or 16 years old. It was a 3.0 megapixel camera, which is nothing compared to the 5 or 6 or 10 megapixels on our iPhones and Android devices these days. But when I got it, I was so happy and excited. I was snapping pictures of everything, of people's cars, people's faces, and it was just fun. I was a big car guy as well. So either way, photography was my thing, even though it was such a small camera. In fact, that's where I started using it for Ani TV. And Ani TV is like this little TV show I started back when I was in Arizona. And I would just interview and take pictures of random customers and employees and have a great time with it. Nonetheless, just to emphasize on my excitement for photography and our guest tonight. So I got some fun photography facts because it just sounds fun when I say it with all that alliteration. Fun photography facts. That's right, zoom into my face and all that. So let's start off with a fun one right here. Check out this picture right here. The largest camera collection consists of, that's right, 4,425 cameras. This man right here, Dilesh Parekh, a photojournalist from Mumbai, has the largest camera collection, and again, he owns 4,425 antique cameras. I don't know what to say of that. I just thought that was a funny picture. But no, really, that's a lot of cameras he's got going on. I don't know what he's got on those films or on those cameras, but now I'm kind of dying to find out. So Dilesh, if you're watching this, send your videos and pictures from those cameras that you've antiquately saved to Anil at NTV Houston. I'm joking. If you have some awesome photography photos as well, I'd love to have them. Send them over. I'll share them, and I'll be like, look, this last week we had this fun little picture. So we'll share that way because I love photography. Continuing this fun photography facts segment, the first photo of a person was accidental. That's right. You're probably like, what does that even mean? In 1828, Louis Daguerre took the first photo that captured a human being. That's right. His intention was to take a photo of the temple in Paris, Boulevard du Temple. I don't know how to say it in French. Excuse my French. I don't speak French. The man in the photo was standing in the street getting his shoes polished. Since the exposure lasted for 7 minutes, the man also got captured, which is pretty interesting because nowadays it takes about a minute to shoe shine or whatever, and usually it's just take a selfie and get out of there. So I don't know. Must have been one long-term selfie right there. Also, the first digital camera was invented in 1975. A little over, 45 years ago. So again, in 1975, Steven Sasson invented the world's first digital camera. He was working at the Eastman Kodak at that time. And remember, whenever everyone says, oh, what a Kodak moment you guys caught. Well, they meant something interesting, not of a shoe shine So make sure you take note of that. The first digital camera weighed about 4 times more than a modern fancy camera today, the DSLRs or whatever. So Stephen's camera weighed about 8 pounds and shot only 0.1 megapixel. The average weight of a modern DSLR is about 2 pounds. So this was extremely fat, just like me when I had my first camera. This is me when I first got my first camera. Fatter than I am today, but still not fat enough to weigh that much in terms of camera weight. So that's a fat camera we just discussed. And finally, the question is, how many photographs are taken almost every day is what comes to mind. When I think about it, with Facebook and Instagram and all these crazy platforms of folks taking pictures, I just wondered, and actually there is a number. Technically, there is no number, but really the number can be in the trillions. That's right. On over 95 million photos on average are uploaded daily on Instagram. Over 300 million photos are uploaded on Facebook as well, daily. So with that, I think majority of those really just doubled or tripled in size during COVID, just like the people taking the pictures during COVID. That's right. We're going to take a little break because I don't want to take too many fat jokes because, I just feel like I'm just hogging them, and I have a lot of more fat jokes to come throughout the season. And I can make them because I think fat people can make fat jokes without getting any harm, I think, right? Isn't that true? Like, I don't know, can a fat person? No, people are too sensitive? Okay, never mind. No more fat jokes, I'm joking. I'm going to make as many fat jokes as I want because I'm also of the fat community. We'll be back with our very, 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 very special guest, the 6 Varies for this episode 6 of Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani. We're going to have, of course, the Z-Man of Houston, the photographer who's photographed almost everything, Mr. Zia Ahmed, in just a bit. He'll be here after this break, so sit tight. We'll be back.
Amazing things for you.
59 और वेस्ट बेलफोर्ड पर है नुक्कड़ ढाबा, जहां के मशहूर जमाना बॉम्बे तंदूरी चिकन, पहाड़ी बोटी, चिकन चटपटा और बटर चिकन तो आप जानते ही होंगे। अगर आप बॉम्बे चाइनीज खाना आप पसंद करते हैं तो जरूर उनके चिकन लॉलीपॉप और चिकन चिली ट्राई करिएगा। और एनटीवी ह्यूस्टन का नाम लेने पर स्पेशल है $99 में कॉर्न सूप। सुबह 8 से लेकर रात के 2 बजे तक नुक्कड़ ढाबा आपकी खिदमत के लिए खुला होता है। For takeout and other inquiries, call 281-575-1178 at the corner of West Belfort and 59, Nukkad Dhaba.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down.
RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service, striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Welcome back to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NTV Houston. Thank y'all so much for joining us for segment number 2 of the very, that's 6 Varies for episode 6. Special guest in studio, national award-winning, international, worked hard in all the international states that you could think of, with his brand Aventography Photography, Mr. Houston's photograph king. I don't even know what else to tell you, so many things to line up with. But the hottest photography team in Houston, led by Mr. none other than Zia Ahmed. Welcome. Come on down.
Thank you very much for having me. It's an
That's
honor.
right. That's right. Audience is going wild. And so in this COVID period, we got this vibe going. But thank you so much, bro, for coming in today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I know you got a crazy, hectic schedule going on. You know, you're all over Houston, all over Texas, all over the States, and internationally as well. So I don't know who, what, when, where, why, how you do it, but I got to ask you, so how did you get to where Aventography is today, being nationally award-winning and, working internationally as well?
It's been a long journey, no doubt. Started about 12 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe 13, yeah, and it's been, steady growth over the years. I've been blessed. I worked hard. That's it.
Was photography like a natural thing for you, or did you have to kind of dive into it on your...
So photography was a passion of mine growing up.
Oh, wow.
All right, and I did it for fun.
Okay.
In fact, I remember my father bought a film camera way back when I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
And he gave it to me and he goes, "Hey, figure it out," basically.
Yeah.
And that's how I started or learned about it, whatever I could on my own at that time. There was no YouTube or anything like that. So started like that, and then it was always a passion and a hobby. Went to school for accounting, did other things. But this was just something that was a hobby, literally.
Yeah. So a lot of people in this millennial generation are taking a lot of different stabs at different passions and different things. My previous guest on the last episode, Wasim Momin, he started off going to school for film, and he ended up becoming a nurse. So it's like, it's interesting how you went into school for accounting and you became a photographer. So I'm just wondering, what was that shift like? What made you want to shift directions?
I'll tell you why. So I've always been the creative sort.
Okay.
Accountants aren't creative. And if you get creative in accounting, you get in trouble. So I realized at one point, that I should do what I like, not what I'm trained to do, right?
Yes.
Because working as an accountant or to me was work. Doing photography was never work. Well, actually it is now, but when I first started, it wasn't work. It was great. It was like, this is awesome. And I loved doing it, but then to me, you should do what you like to do.
I agree.
So that's how I transitioned into it.
I agree, man. I wholeheartedly agree, because now that I'm thinking about it, I graduated with an MIS degree, Management of Information Systems, but I was initially an accounting major as well. I love numbers, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, but then when you get all these ledgers in there and all these extra, details, forget about it. I was like, no, I'm just going to stick with this. And eventually I ended up here. I'm not even doing anything in MIS related, but you're saying.
Yeah, and it was a weird coincidence because one of my best friends, his younger brother, was getting married.
Okay.
He knew I was into photography, not a professional, but I was into photography, and he said, "Bring your camera. We'll take some pictures on the side." Blah blah blah.
Sure.
They had a professional. We did our, I took pictures on the side and took pictures of the bride and groom, gave them a gift of an album or whatever.
Yeah.
And about a year later, one of their friends was getting married, and he said, "Hey, you know what? I liked your pictures better than their professional guys.
Wow.
Would you do my wedding?" And I was like, no, I have a job. I'm good. I'm, whatever. And I still remember, he said, "I'll pay you $2,000 if you do my wedding." And I was on the phone and I was like, "Sure, let's meet at Starbucks." And we met at Starbucks, and that's how it started.
Wow. And $2,000 at that time was a lot more than it is.
This is 12 or 13 years ago.
Holy smokes. That must have been like cha-ching. Like,
yeah,
that's
I
it.
was like, what? I had no idea what the potential is for wedding photographers and.
So when you hung up with them, did you call your boss, be like, "Hey, I just got an offer for $2,000 for, clicking pics"?
No, not
sayonara.
Not quite. I was like thrilled. This is good extra income. I did one, then I think I did another one like a few months later.
Okay.
And then another one, and that's how it started. And then I got more into it and started learning more, and thank God for YouTube and some friends that I knew were photographers, and
the rest is history. Wow, that's amazing, man. So by the way, with this show, the breakdown of it, it's supposed to be a comedic variety show, a variety of things, right? So I like to get the information, but I like to sprinkle in a little bit of entertainment as well.
Sure.
So I gave you the list of questions, but I didn't give you the would you rathers.
Right.
So we're going to play a little game that we like to call, which is an age-old game of would you rather. And then they clap, and they zoom in on my face, zoom in on his face, the excitement. And here we go, right? So here we go. Would you rather have 5 half-sized clones of yourself running around, or 1 full-size clone of yourself? Because I know you need a team, and of course, I feel like everybody needs a team for their whole life. Yeah. But I just wonder, would you rather have 5 half-sized clones running around of yourself, or 1 full-sized clone?
Probably 1.
Probably 1.
Yeah, not
okay.
5.
What would be the reasoning behind that?
Because
one?
half, I feel like won't get anything done.
Okay.
You need my full attention to get things done, right? So
right.
That's probably why. And I've seen this movie called Multiplicity.
Oh, yes.
They had 4 clones, and nothing was getting done, and each one was not as smart as the one before him. So, so
technically, if they're half size of you, that means 2 of them is just 1 size, right? So technically, as a Desi, I probably would have looked at it at that way. I'm like, I got 2.5 clones of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, one can probably, 2 of them can be on the shoulders of the other. So now you got 2 full clones, and you got a half kind of keeping it together, right? So I get you. I understand that Multiplicity movie.
Yeah.
That's a callback to the 90s, I think.
That
that's
is the 90s
old
movie,
school.
correct?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Are you big into? So when you look at films nowadays, or throughout the time that you've become a photographer, and also videography as well, do you critique films differently now?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because on Facebook and social media, people post pictures all the time, and they might be with a cell phone or even a professional photographer,
right.
And I'm like, that's a horrible picture. The back is overexposed, or it's underexposed, or too bright, the shirt's blown out.
When you say the back is underexposed, you're talking about, or overexposed, you're talking about the picture back, right? Not someone's backside.
No,
being
not someone's
overexposed.
backside. The background of the picture.
Wonderful.
And people are saying, well, that's such a beautiful picture. And I'm like, that's a horrible picture. I'm sorry. So my eye has been trained over the years to look at things a little differently.
Of course.
And when I see commercials, I pick out flaws, and it's just something that you kind of get into, I guess.
I can only assume, but I don't like to assume, because to assume is to make out of you and me, right? So I'm assuming you don't do, with that type of verbiage you use for photography, you don't do baby pictures. Do you do baby pictures?
We do anything that's photo related.
Because if you take pictures of a baby and you show the couple like, oh, that looks so cute, and you're like, no, it looks terrible. I wonder if they're thinking like, you're calling my baby ugly, you know what I mean?
I'm not talking about the people, the subject. I'm talking about the quality of the picture.
Exactly.
So,
Got you. That's what's up, man. And before the show, off air, we're talking, and before I go into the off-air discussions, you won a national award. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So first of all, I didn't even know there were national awards for photography. I had no idea that there was a whole other realm of existence, where people were given awards.
When I first started, I had no idea about that either, but there are different organizations. There's, WIPA, there's a bunch of other ones, and they're on a national level.
Oh, wow.
And 4 years ago, I was fortunate enough to be called to Vegas, and in a conference, big whatever, they had told me I'm a finalist for this award.
Wow.
Would you come to Vegas? And I said, sure. I went, and I was blessed enough, thank God, to have won it.
That's what's up, man. I see you getting your body language telling me, like, I went to Vegas. Like, you don't want to talk about what happened in Vegas, because what happened in Vegas...
Nothing like that.
No,
there's no body language. But yeah, I mean, I flew there one afternoon, had the award ceremony that night.
Wow.
Came back the next day. Yeah, I just went strictly for this thing. Actually, I wasn't going to go.
Oh, okay.
And maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but the organization people called me, said, hey, are you coming? And I said, I mean, what's the chances of me winning? I'm not coming just, to see somebody else win. And they said, and I still remember, she said to me, I strongly suggest you come.
And you can't wink over the phone.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That was the wink.
And so I said, so are you saying that I won? And she goes, I strongly suggest you come. I'm like, okay, maybe I did win. I don't know. So I said, okay, I'll take the flight. She was like, excellent, and that was it. So.
I mean, they wouldn't be that cruel. They're like, I strongly suggest you come.
And then
you come,
you
you're
get
like,
there,
you
lost.
lost.
But so yeah.
Wonderful. That's what's up, man. That's congratulations, by the way. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. I got another would you rather question, and this is movie related as well. because we talked about how you look at movies and anything with videography, photography a little differently. Would you rather be trapped in a romantic movie, a romantic comedy to be exact, with your enemies, or trapped in a horror movie with your friends? But again, romantic comedy, enemies, but horror movie and friends.
I'd take the comedy.
Comedy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So why not the horror movie? You've seen a lot of Scooby-Doo, right? Have you seen Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
I figured I would take the Scooby-Doo route and, figure it out. But so you chose a romantic comedy with the enemies. Why is that?
It's simply because comedy is important to me.
Yes.
I like to laugh. I like to make other people laugh. Life is short. It's more fun if you're laughing along the way.
I wholeheartedly agree, man. If I didn't agree, I don't think we'd be sitting right here putting all these little ha-has every chance we get. But yeah, man, that's what's up. Laughter, I think, is the best medicine. I agree.
I agree.
But I guess to play devil's advocate, I probably would have went the other route and figured out like who the bad guy is. Oh my God, because again, I grew up Scooby-Dooby-Doo, you know. But I get you on that. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna jump to that off-air discussion we had. It was a simple discussion. I asked you simply, and I ask all the guests now. Kind of a rule of thumb for me. I want to get to know a person in and out. And it's hard to really do that in a matter of 30 to 45 minutes. But when I find out what the five main components of their existence are all about, that's where I'm like, I can understand a little bit. So you said the 5 components include humanity, family, faith, loyalty, and above all, laughter. I don't know, you say above all, but I prefer laughter. But okay, so these 5 components. What do you do to engage with family now during this COVID era? Because I recollect, if I'm not giving too much away, but you also were impacted by this, pandemic as well, directly. So what was that like, and how have you transitioned back to normal reality, and how do you, keep in touch with family?
It's the times, man. It's a reality that we all have to face. We all, you can't say that this person will or will not get it.
True.
My brother got it first back in March, April.
Oh, wow.
And he was seriously ill for a little while. Then, of course, we were all social distancing as best as we could, I guess. Then a customer got me sick.
Oh, snap.
I had COVID and, lots of health issues for a little while. But thank God, it's impacted all of us in every way.
True.
Business, health, family, whatever, right?
Of course.
My parents, for example, they're older. I chose for them to not go out anywhere.
Yeah.
They're staying at home. We were doing everything for them. And for a while, I wasn't even seeing them just because, you don't want to, if you're infected, you don't want to get them sick or anybody else. So our meetings, I remember, were actually sitting in the garage, open door and sitting 10 feet, 15 feet apart.
Yeah. Wow.
But thank God everything is good now. So.
I'm very glad to see you come in looking fresh. It's going to be unscathed, man. That's great stuff. So so now, how is it now? Now that everyone's, your brother had it, you're kind of like, your family is doing okay now overall.
Thank God, yeah. My family's all good, yeah.
So are they back to the whole Zoom interview, messaging, or how does that work when they're?
So I of course see my family all the time. My parents especially, my sister, my brother, my nieces, nephews. As much as I can, and they're the most important thing to me. So.
Wonderful, man. That's what's up. That's where the family part. That's beautiful, man. That's what's up. We'll do one more. Would you rather before we take a little break?
Sure.
Let's see. Would you rather always hit a red light for the rest of your life, or always get slow internet after the sun goes down?
Red light.
Red light?
For sure. I need internet. I need it. In fact, yesterday I was working from home and my internet was like in and out. I was like, "What's going on?" I couldn't upload my pictures, and it's a way of life now. So we need our fast internet.
Yeah, I bet. So no, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't know about the red light.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd break some if I could, but if I'm given a choice, then yeah.
we gotta put just because you said that, we gotta put a disclaimer. Thanks a lot, Zia. Do not, listen to Zia for driving. And respect your local signal lights and stop signs for goodness sake. But I would probably do the same thing. Wi-Fi at nighttime or internet at nighttime is you need it. Because especially if you have family abroad, across the country or across the the world.
Right.
It's their nighttime, daytime, whatever. It's switching over and such. So I totally agree in that sense as well. We're going to take a very short break, all right? We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, we got more of the Z-Man, a.k.a. Z-Man right here, Zia Ahmed. Am I saying Ahmed right or Ahmed? Ahmed. Zia Ahmed in the house, a.k.a. Z-Man of Houston. Sit tight. We'll be back with more Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NTV Houston.
During the Cadillac Season's Best Sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac, Houston's only Cadillac to-your-door dealer, delivers 0% APR for 72 months, plus $3,000 bonus cash on both the first-ever 2020 CT4 Luxury Collection for only $449 a month, and the first-ever 2020 CT5 Luxury Collection for just $499 a month, both with only $1 down. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
59 और वेस्ट बेलफोर्ड पर है नुक्कड़ ढाबा, जहां के मशहूर जमाना बॉम्बे तंदूरी चिकन, पहाड़ी बोटी, चिकन चटपटा और बटर चिकन तो आप जानते ही होंगे। अगर आप बॉम्बे चाइनीज खाना आप पसंद करते हैं तो जरूर उनके चिकन लॉलीपॉप और चिकन चिली ट्राई करिएगा। और एनटीवी ह्यूस्टन का नाम लेने पर स्पेशल है $1.99 में कॉर्न सूप। सुबह 8 से लेकर रात के 2 बजे तक नुक्कड़ ढाबा आपकी खिदमत के लिए खुला होता है। For takeout and other inquiries, call 281-575-1178 at the corner of West Belfort and 59, Nukkad Dhaba.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months, plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection, only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection, just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down.
Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Welcome back to Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani on NTV Houston. We have, of course, Houston's finest photographer, the Z-Man, a.k.a. Zia Ahmed, in the house. What's going on, Zia?
Not much.
We're back. Thank you so much for coming in today.
My pleasure.
I know you got a crazy schedule because you got, tell me about this. How were you able to do, you won a national award, right? So congratulations once again on that.
Thank you.
So you talked about working internationally as well. Where else have you worked in photography?
So we've gone to Europe, we've done Canada, we've done Mexico a bunch of times.
Okay.
And all over the States.
I'm asking this question because I'm getting married and you're taking care of my pictures, so I'm pretty pumped about that. So go to this guy, and I'm giving him free publicity, but I don't care. He's one of the best. So I asked because I'm looking forward to my honeymoon. My family's going to take care of it as well. That's like the cost of me having to do a bigger wedding than I expected. I only wanted to do the religious ceremony, and here we are with like a 1, 2, 3 day thing. And anyways, that's a whole other topic. But I'm looking forward to seeing where's the most awesome place to go, especially when we like to take nice pictures and stuff. So where would you suggest for new honeymooners or newlyweds getting out there?
If you're staying within the area within US, I suggest Hawaii. It's beautiful. Mexico's great, Cancun is great too, but Hawaii is a little bit better, I think.
So when you go to these international trips for work, do they let you have a little time to kind of do your own thing as well?
It's part of my agreement.
What? What does that even mean? Time out.
No, it just means that hey, I'll come. I'm doing a wedding in Cancun for 2 events, but we are staying there for 3 or 4 nights.
Wow. Okay.
So we can have some relaxation. We can enjoy the scenery as well.
That's what's up, man. Okay, so with that, we talked about the main components of what makes the Z-Man tick. We picked out the 5, of course, that were given off the air. Again, they are humanity, family, faith, loyalty, and laughter. That's right. Hopefully you guys are writing these down because these are some interesting topics that we're diving into. About the humanity component, right? What makes you tick? Describe that. How do you fulfill this aspect in your life, like the humanity aspect of what you described?
Life is short.
True.
We are, and when I say we, I mean majority of us are blessed.
True.
We have health, number one. We have shelter, food, the 3 basic things that we need. And there are some people, for whatever reasoning, are not blessed with such
True.
Luck. Why am I so lucky? Why do I have, food, shelter, everything, health especially, number one. And there are some people that aren't healthy for, whether by choices of their own, luck, bad luck, whatever, aren't that lucky. So I feel like we have to give back, regardless of race, religion, color, doesn't matter. Human beings are human beings. And for me, that's very important, So I like to give, personally, if I can, and help someone out, make someone smile. If you're making one person smile a day, you're doing a good job.
There you go. Man, I wholeheartedly agree. That's wonderful. You made me smile, so congratulations for doing what you do.
Good.
And I agree to the point where, I left international radio, came into television, and it's a local thing, but I'm trying to grow it as much as possible. And this little concept I kind of created, that old saying that, we're living in a melting pot, right? So you got New York, Houston, LA, all these major cities who are considered melting pots, right? I'm like, why not go a step further and actually turn this melting pot into a melting potluck? And really what that means is, we're living in a melting pot, but we don't have to feel so, congested or just, annoyed or irritated by everyone around us.
Right.
Why not bring like the best of the best from each one of our individual cultures to the table? Some knowledge that we can share with our cohabitants or inhabitants. I don't know what the term is. People who live around us, all right, for goodness sakes, our fellow communities, neighboring communities, and so on. And, bring something to the table just like a potluck would. Everyone brings a dish to the table.
Sure.
So that in that way we can all, grow and feast and, live and coexist together and create this knowledge society, and turn this melting pot again into a melting potluck.
That's great.
So I'm on the same page with you. So you tell me every year, annually, during the winter time frame, you do something similar where you bring some folks together. What do you do exactly?
So about 3 years ago, I was coming home from my parents' house, coincidentally, stopped for gas. In the corner of the gas station, outside, I saw this little Asian guy freezing, because it was the first night it turned cold. And he was sitting in the corner, like shaking, like literally cold. And I said, hey, man, can I get you anything, And he goes, and I said, can I get you some food? And he said, can you get me a blanket? And I was like, I don't have a blanket on me. But I told him, I said, hey, if you wait here 15 minutes, I'll go get you one, And he goes, no, it's okay. And he started getting up and walked away. But I said, look, if you want food, I'll get you food. And I'll come back in 20 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes. Made me realize that, there's so many people out there. Again, we don't realize, we're sitting at home, heater, AC, whatever the conditions may be. And we're lucky that we have all that, right?
Yes.
And again, some people don't. And so that year, I put out on my Facebook that, hey, let's make a difference personally. Let's go and deliver these. So I put it on my Facebook that, hey, I'm collecting blankets and I'll go deliver them. So the first time I did it, I had I think 50 blankets. Wow. And they were all used blankets. Some people gave me new blankets, but they were mostly used.
Okay.
And so what I would do is I would drive my car, and again, I don't want to publicize this, but I would distribute them, right?
That's good.
And so then it became, the next year I did it again. This year, thank God, I people started donating and saying, hey, we'd love to do it. And thank God for Facebook Memories, because that's what prompted me to put it out there.
You can constantly share it.
Yeah. And so this year, I did it all last week with some volunteers, people that were willing to help. And we personally distributed over 300 blankets.
Wow.
Doesn't sound like much, but there's 300 people out there that are warm at night, at least for the time being.
Bro, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Holy
Thank you.
smokes, man.
Thank you.
That's a lot of people. You're doing God's work, man. You're doing the universe work, man.
And you know what? Seeing their faces, many of them don't even say thank you, but many of them do. And they're so appreciative. They're like, oh, thank you. I needed this last night, or I needed this tonight, whatever. And, photography, accounting, whatever, this is the most satisfying thing I've ever done. So my goal is to somehow build this up and go a little bit further next year.
That's what's up, man. Congratulations. That's so cool, dude. Like, it's interesting because I'm over here thinking, my fiance now, legal wife, and when it's her birthday every year, she tries to do something where, however old she is, I won't give her age out, she's gonna kill me. But whatever year, age she turned, she likes to take that number and make like a number of backpacks.
Nice.
And in each backpack, and they're not like expensive backpacks, they're like the simple drawstring ones. Right. But within them, we'll put like care packages in each one, like of food, socks, blanket as well, actually, shawls to be exact, bigger shawls. But yeah, things like that, and just kind of give it off to random folks who need it on the street, especially wintertime. Yeah. Even though, people think that just because we're living in Texas that we only got the heat or whatever. No, we get some cold times. It's pretty evident. So I thought that was something. This is a next level. We should definitely collaborate, and I think this is something cool.
I would love to.
Because her birthday lands in December, and December is one of the coldest months. So I think we can definitely do something.
I would love to do something. Yeah.
And I'm now we have witnesses. Whoever's watching this show eventually, that I gotta stick it through for sure. So you inspired me, man. That's amazing.
Good. I'm glad.
Came out of nowhere.
It doesn't have to be blankets. It could be any kind of help.
Right.
In any small way,
Right. Yeah, definitely.
I even feel like, hey, if you open the door for someone, make him smile. Do something good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, life is short. When we die, we don't take watches or any possessions. It's just us and our deeds, and that's what's important to me now. So
100%, yeah, man. And I think I said it in the previous episode, but like as you grow older, at least what I've realized, I'm 32, 33, right? So life is like all about holding on and letting go. When you're getting to an age like you start to realize, okay, it's okay to let go. It's okay to give to others. And there's that Maya Angelou quote as well, like you have two hands for a reason. One to take and one to give.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important that and that's amazing work. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We got some more Would You Rathers. Don't think this is going to be a pure sentimental kind of show here. We'll stick with that flow. Okay. Let's see. Would you rather? Okay. If you were reborn in a new life, all right, if you were able to reincarnate, right? No one really knows. The universe is very mysterious. If you had the opportunity to reincarnate, would you rather be alive in the past or in the future?
Would I know what I know now in the past?
No. It's a mystery. Yesterday was all those mystery things, but you never know. But you already know what the past is like, right? Because we've seen history books and so on.
It's probably the future.
The future?
Yeah, just to know what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah. Okay.
If I had a choice,
Yeah. What do you think, if you were to be in the future, what do you think that you would hope to have at that point that we don't have already right now? Because we're getting self-driving cars right now, right? We got the Teslas. Flying cars. Well, you're talking Jetsons. You want to get into the Jetsons.
Back to the Future. Probably flying cars, I think, would be a cool thing. Cure for all diseases would be good.
I would probably, that would be good. Actually, now you're making mine feel really, really bad. Because I'm over here thinking, like, it would be so cool to have some sort of technology that knows exactly when I'm going to be hungry. Yeah. So it can be like, all right, you're going to be hungry in 4 minutes from now. 4 minutes from now, I need to figure out something before I start getting hangry. I get hangry pretty fast. That's what happens when you go from chunky monkey to back and forth. I'm at my fattest right now. I'm trying to get back into a slimmer mode, but I get hangry.
You're getting married. You better.
I know. Some of the clothes I bought like a month ago in advance. I'm like, this is gonna look so sick on the reception day, and now I'm like, oh man, I've made a huge mistake.
Blame it on COVID. Everyone gains weight during COVID.
Exactly. So. Yeah, that's actually not bad. But I can't really in the same time because I announced the wedding post-COVID time, or during COVID, so they're gonna be like, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
you knew you didn't have to eat that extra sandwich.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel you on that. I got one more. Actually, I got two questions.
Sure.
One particularly about the word loyalty, because you named loyalty as one of your components, right?
Yeah.
So that's a word I don't really hear often, because the guests I've asked questions about that never came up. So why loyalty, and what is the
Because
meaning
I
behind
mean,
that?
times are different. People aren't loyal as they used to be, or at least my perception of loyalty. But people that are there for you. It's important, to be loyal. I think over the years I've built a really nice staff, and they've been loyal to me, and I've been loyal to them. And I just feel like there's not enough loyalty in the world right now. So I mean, I like to be loyal.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
So with loyalty, do you feel like there's these discrepancies you probably experience in life? Because I feel like a lot of these answers come from people's overall experiences, because you are the sum of your own experiences.
Absolutely,
right?
you are.
So if that's the case, then can you remember a time where your loyalty was tested, or you kind of broke through that grain, or anything like that about loyalty?
No, it's never been. For me, it's always been right or wrong, do the right thing, and that usually means being loyal. And sometimes people aren't as loyal as you'd want them to be. But that's life. You learn and you move on.
Yeah, no, I wholehearily agree.
But you got to do your part. That's what I say.
Yes, you gotta do what you gotta do, and then everything else will. Because I guess the whole experience is basically 1% of things that happen to us, but 99% is how we kind of respond or react, or how we kind of view the thing.
Correct.
Maybe project our emotions and feelings. So I agree with that for sure. That's right. We got another would you rather question coming your way.
Sure.
Would you rather reverse one decision you make every day, or be able to stop time 10 seconds every day? So every day you have an option. You did something and you can reverse it for that day, and you only get one reverse a day, or for 10 seconds, time stands still.
No, I'll take the first one.
Yeah?
Yeah, simply because, I mean, we all make dumb decisions in life. Some
True.
are bigger, some are smaller.
True.
But, I was at a wedding last week. I had a slice of cake. It was delicious.
Okay.
And I went back for a second one. So I would go back and say, okay, I'll stop at the first one.
Really? I would have just probably, I think...
I have a weakness for cake, man.
Do you really?
And part of the things I love about weddings is the cake,
So when you started doing the wedding shoots, did you see you should put a graph of your weight from when you started to when up until now? Have you seen it go up and up for every wedding shoot you've done?
No, not for me. I've been pretty good. I'll eat, one night I'll indulge, and the next day I'll be like, okay, I gotta watch what I eat today.
Yeah.
So I kind of try and balance it that way, at least in my head, you
Yeah.
know, and I think it works, but I don't know.
So what's been one of the most difficult parts of being in this industry that you're in photography?
Yeah, it's. You mean this year?
Oh, and oh my goodness! So every year is a different thing.
Yeah,
huh?
well, this year was a
COVID,
complete
of course.
disaster for the whole wedding industry. Since March through September, there was hardly any events.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it hurt not just photo people, video, wedding planners, wedding decorators,
The whole ripple effect.
makeup artists, cake people. You know, it's a ripple effect, exactly. You know, and that was it. It was a hard year for a lot of people. You know.
So prior to COVID, what was the biggest kind of impact that your industry was had to go through? Because I don't know, because in my lifetime, I don't think I can remember anything that was this big, except for 9/11 was a thing, but at the same time, that doesn't impact.
Didn't affect,
Yeah.
Wedding, people say, hey, is it wedding season? And to me in Houston or Texas, it's always wedding season.
Right? I heard that multiple times.
People get married on December 31st, Christmas Day, and all kinds of days when there's a long weekend, you know. And so to me, there's no season. It's just consistent. I mean, there are slower times than others,
Right.
Traditionally, and there's some months that are a little slower, but back to school, that's a slower time typically. But otherwise, it's always wedding season.
Wow, yeah, I bet. So you guys are always on call. You guys are like the fire department. Like, we're getting married, we're coming right there. You guys come down this pole.
Well, it's not last minute. I mean, it's not, well, some people are last minute, but.
See, I'm pretty last minute, man. I'll be very, very honest. Like, we started this show here a month and a half. And after the first week, I went back to Dallas, and my family's in Dallas, who I spend most time with. And I was like, hey, I'm thinking about getting married. They're like, well, welcome to the conversation. We've been waiting. And I'm like, all right, let's get this going. So in the past month, it's been a lot of hoops to go through, with launching a show as well as getting married. So it's crazy, but
wedding planning is a different ballgame,
So the first time I reached out to you was way before we even decided on photography. It was right before I even started here.
Right.
I literally made the turn to go to the studios, and I saw your location nearby as well. Big letters, Aventography. So tell me, what do you do in that giant castle of a location for Aventography here?
Well, we have a studio space in the back as well.
Okay.
We have multiple offices, for editors and photographers.
Wow.
But we don't use all the rooms that we have, especially now because of COVID. Everyone's working from home. In fact, I go to the office, but I think I've met one client in person over the past 6 months. Everything else has been on the phone, Zoom calls, or whatever. So maybe this is a good way of doing business in the future, and then not having that extra expense of an office.
I got a commercial idea for you. I'm telling you, get a pole set up there and get a second story, and then like whenever someone calls for a wedding or any kind of, you need photos? I'm your man, and then just hop down, like I said, the fire department. But that would be pretty interesting.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
I think we're gonna do like a behind the scenes or something behind.
Sure.
We're gonna stop by.
Sure.
Let's see. Finally, I don't want to say finally. I'll say, how has laughter been one major part of your life? Because you mentioned you like to laugh, you like to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Do you do anything on your own? Like, do you write comedy, or do you do anything on your own that has to do with laughter or comedy?
Well, no, not really. But sometimes I make silly jokes.
Okay.
I'm driving and I'll think of something and I'll put it on my Facebook. I'll get some laughs. Sometimes people are like, "No, that's not funny," but many times they say that's hilarious. And again, I feel like life is short. Everyone's stressed, with work or, school or whatever. So for me, laughter is the best medicine. Makes you feel better.
Yeah.
So.
I was just about to ask you, give me a joke real quick, and you're about to freeze up. You're probably going to use that one button that you do, for this is a decision I want to reverse right now from that previous one.
Probably, yeah.
That's what's up. I ask you one last would you rather, and we're going to wrap it up because I know you got a long, crazy schedule going on. This is wedding season, right?
Yeah.
As it is every season.
Well, actually, December it's crazy busy.
Crazy busy.
Yeah. So,
okay.
From middle December, and if I was a person getting married or looking to get married, I wouldn't do it between December 15th and January 4th.
That's the worst time.
Worst time. Everything goes up.
Yeah. I feel you. Okay.
I could write a book on weddings.
You should. I don't know why you
I've been told so many times, write a book.
Yeah.
But maybe one day.
Yeah, that'd be great. The Memoirs of the Z-Man. And finally, would you rather give up social media or eat the same dinner for the rest of your life? Oh my God, that's tough. Would you rather give up social media or eat the same dinner for the rest of your life?
Social media is a way of life now. And we get a lot of business through our Instagram, through our Facebook page. In fact, I would say 90% of people find us that way. Social media. Now, having the same dinner, that could get kind of boring too, but...
What would be your dinner that you would not mind having for the rest of your life every night?
Chicken tikkas.
Chicken tikkas?
Yeah.
All right. I was about to think butter chicken, but I'm like, no, I'm going to get fatter.
That's fatter. I love butter chicken, but not every day. So therefore, chicken tikkas it's healthy and it's delicious. So.
For people who don't know what chicken tikka is, go to an Indian restaurant. I don't have time to discuss. But okay, cool. That's wonderful, man. Thank you.
It's basically barbecued chicken.
Yeah, right.
That's all it is.
With like some spices.
Spices, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
not
it's
like
grilled chicken, really. That's
not your Debbie Downers, spices from down the street with no flavor. We know who you are, Debbie. The worst flavoring. Anyways, I'm just talking about neighbors that don't know how to cook.
Okay.
Don't worry about them. But I want to thank you so much for coming in and having fun with me. And I had fun. I hope you had fun as well.
I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
And if there's any place that your colleague, or I guess our lovely fans, can catch you, anywhere you want to tell them about?
Well, Instagram under Aventography, Facebook.com/Aventography. You can find a lot of our work there. I don't post enough. but we do post often.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
At Aventography, and I want to thank again Zia, Ahmed for coming in, the Z-Man. Check them out at Aventography on Instagram and everywhere else. This has been the very, 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 very special episode 6. Six varies right there of Late Night Vibes with Anil Sohani. Thank y'all so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next episode. H-Town, so let's go down.